Has the ship blown up?
Yeah, I got it.
It's destroyed. Okay.
Okay. Can you get us out of here?
Yeah. I'm gonna take us into the atmosphere then.
Okay.
And I
okay.
take the ship into the atmosphere away from the planet. So we are further than the human eye could see or whatever race that scary monster was.
And I am immediately tending to our fallen comrades.
Yes, you have 2 KO people. What? You have med packs?
Yes.
I can never remember what they do.
I think I have it in here. One second. For some reason, everything is so quiet today for you guys. All right. Let me see on the sheet here. What does it say for med pack?
Healing through
Item
medical.
inventory.
All right, it's wounds less or equal to half of the threshold, which is what it is.
Yep.
Wounds more than half, and wounds more than threshold, which is what both of them have. I think actually one of them is strain beyond threshold.
And also, the med pack, not the stim pack, but the med pack allows you to do a check without the standard difficulty. Obviously, there's probably added difficulties and things like that.
It is 3 difficulty to heal the wounds on Hop, and Rugo is strained out of.
So that would be a stim pack, right?
He gets to make. Actually, all of you get to make. What was it? A discipline check I made you do last week called?
Don't recall.
I think it was discipline.
Yeah, let me just remind myself. Because you can all do this.
I don't know if I'm KO'd or if I'm just out of the fight.
Anytime you go over your strain or wounds, you're KO'd.
Okay. Right, you take a critical.
You can make a discipline or a cool check, and any successes, you remove that much strain. Anybody that has strain.
Oh, geez, I still have a crap ton of difficulty in my pool.
Are you saying that all of us can do that? Or
Yes, this is just for strain.
This happens after every combat?
Yeah, after every combat.
Sweet. Come back 2.
discipline or...
I'm pretty sure I have some bullshit every time I roll a discipline roll now. Hold on.
Whenever you, whatever successes you make are the amount of strains you heal.
So I come back with 2.
Yeah, so you're strained, but you kind of wake up, I guess, from the stress. However, Hop would still be unconscious, and he took a crit. So you can attempt to heal his wounds, and then attempt to heal his crit as well.
So sorry. What do if I got a triumph, what does that do for strain?
It just counts as another success.
Okay. Okay, I will do a med check. So is it 2 difficulty then, because the med kit takes 1 away?
That makes sense to me.
It says without penalty at all, right?
It does,
Not
but
without.
I think we
Okay.
ruled it differently last time.
Okay.
It's a
Sorry.
3 difficulty check by standard, and medicine does what? Medpack does what?
The med pack says without difficulty
The penalty
or without penalty.
that
Without penalty.
it's referring to is if you're not in a medical center, is what we decided last time.
I remember.
Yeah, I knew we decided something.
Okay.
So, okay.
If you're not in a medical center, it's even harder, I think.
Yeah, I'll double check what.
So 2, my dear? Or are we doing 3?
1 sec.
Okay.
I should really remember, but I don't.
It's
Someday.
tough. There's a lot.
There is a lot to remember.
I did
I keep flipping between my D&D brain and my Star
Yeah.
Wars brain every week as well.
There's
and
that.
I literally, I think I've partitioned my brain like a fucking C drive. And I find this at the beginning of Star Wars every week. I'm like, I don't remember anything because I ran a D&D
separating.
last night.
Yeah. First 20 minutes is us
Um,
going, okay.
Yeah. So, character make a medicine check to help a character heal wounds. You can only make 1 medicine check each encounter. The difficulty of the check is based on the current state. For this, it's a 3. Character may also attempt to help someone recover from a critical. And then there's natural rest, recovering from strain. So, yeah, I'm not sure what the penalty is supposed to be honest.
I remember there being a penalty. If you heal yourself, there's a penalty.
That's right.
And if you try to heal outside of a medical station, there's a penalty.
No, there's a penalty if it's not you healing. Like, you need to be the one to heal yourself, right?
No. Healing yourself is much more difficult. You
Oh.
want someone else to do it. That much I
Oh.
do remember.
I thought
I think those
we
are
had
the
to
two
switch
penalties.
and have him do the healing last time. My bad.
Yeah, I don't know what we did last time, but I know that
Okay.
that's the case this time.
So 3 difficulty?
I think that's what makes sense.
1 sec. I know it's really
Sure.
boring and nothing's happening.
No,
but,
it's okay. I just want to make sure we're not waiting on me.
Medical kits count as simply having the right tools for the job. Each med kit
Yeah.
usually has additional bonus, like a boost die. Yeah, so all this does is give you a boost die.
Okay.
So actually, so this would be 3 difficulty with 1 boost.
All right. Oh.
1 success, 1 threat. I think it probably just takes time rather than inflicting a strain. 1
Right.
success means you heal 1 wound. Hop, you're at 1 HP, or minus whatever it is, whatever your HP is, -1. Or wound threshold is -1, because that's how this works.
Does that take you under your wound threshold?
Yeah, I wonder actually. Does this heal?
So you can go into
you're-
the negatives or whatever. I think you can go over it.
Right.
Right, that is true. That means I am only 1 strain away.
Yeah. What is your
So if I
wounds?
do anything, honestly.
My wounds, my current, what I was inflicted was 12. My threshold, or it was 14. My threshold was 12.
You're at 13.
13, yeah. So I'm still out then.
You're still dying. Still wounded. Still out of commission for now, and
Dying.
I think that maybe when Nuada was using the med pack, I think maybe Hop kind of opened his eyes briefly and kind of saw the inside of the ship and saw that there was no commotion, and then just blacked back out.
yeah. You guys do have stim packs still, though.
But the stim pack is just is strain, not wounds, right? And he needs wounds
No,
healed?
it is
No,
wounds.
it's wounds.
Oh, okay. Then I will
it's-
use the stim pack immediately after.
It's how many times you've used it on yourself. It goes down from 5
No.
to 4, 3, 2,
Yeah.
1 uses.
I've used it once so far. I've used a stim pack.
So if you
Alright.
use a stim
4.
pack, it'll heal an additional 4, which you can do.
There you
I don't
go.
know if there's a place to mark that on your sheets, but you should probably mark that somewhere.
It's a very good call.
Each of you are
I
on.
have mine in my stim pack section.
Yeah, however many times you've used a stim pack. The next thing
until you rest?
you can attempt to heal his crit injury, which is another medicine check, except this time.
But if I fuck it up, he gets wounded more, and it's like not even a skill I'm good at. So I probably should not be the one to do that. But he's not dying, right?
I don't think you make him. I don't think you injure him more. I think, depending on his crit, depends on how much, how difficult it is to treat.
My crit, it was, I don't know if this will make it easier. It was suffer 1 strain, which
Yeah.
has since been healed.
It should.
Right?
Yours
Say
was a
on your
1.
sheet how
Yours was a
difficult
1
it is.
difficulty, because you rolled a 2, right? Which means it was a minor
Yeah.
nick. The target suffers
Yeah.
1 strain. So the severity is easy.
Okay.
So you can make an easy medicine check. If you fail, I guess if you, I don't think it matters. You just fail, so you don't recover it. That's all.
What's your
Okay.
medicine, Phoebe?
It's 2 green. It's nothing. It's not bumped
I
at
think
all.
Rugo's eyes flutter open and he... What
Yes?
are you doing?
He's. I need to.
No,
something.
And I sort of, Rugo sort of crawls over and makes his way over towards you and may I, as he starts to grab some of
Can I stim you first? Can I give you some strain back before this happens?
I
That doesn't-
you can't give me
That's
strain.
wounds, not
The
strain.
stim is
Oh,
wounds,
okay.
not strain. Yeah.
He's
Do we have
exhausted,
anything that does
and
strain?
we offline decided that he probably has a broken rib, which is
Okay.
causing
Yeah.
him. Everything he does is difficult because it's not a thing you can
see.
just fix outright. So that's probably what's going on with him. So the strain and the struggle is that everything sucks for him. If
Yeah,
anyone's ever had a
everything sucks.
broken rib, you know that
Every
everything
time I
just
breathe,
becomes
it
awful.
just aches. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, but you can also attempt to make a check on Rugo after this as well to try and fix that. So maybe you could try and fix Rugo, and then Rugo can try and fix Hop if you want to try and do that. However, Rugo's difficulty was a 3, right?
My critical?
Mm-hmm.
My critical
your
can't be. My crit can't be healed for another week.
Oh, it
Yeah, I
was a
already
week,
tried.
not a day. Yeah, you're right. That's rough. All right, boy, I might have a week pass between this session and the next,
Right.
just to be fair.
Well,
Okay, so
who
for
knows
now,
about how
though,
long it
you're-
takes for
you're
hyperdrive to
struggling.
travel.
But
Yeah.
there will also be a rest that happens in this
Sure.
between where you are right now and where you're going, wherever that ends up being.
Yeah.
You'll actually have a long rest in that time, so everyone will heal wounds and strain. I'll check
You're
on the
using
strain.
the wrong pack. Yeah. And it's
okay.
right. What's the difficulty on this?
For him, one difficulty. Medicine check.
Let me see if I could help. I think we did all right. Yes. Hey, that's 2 6. No, that's what is it? That's not
2
Two
advantages.
advantages.
2 advantages.
No successes. But you
Strain.
can eliminate
Anyway, a strain.
a point of strain from Hop if you would like.
Sure.
I
think
don't.
will.
I don't need it. My strain. I'm good.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna. You know what I'll do instead? I will, as I start to rummage through and I start laying things out that I'm probably going to use. I take out probably a pack and I start crushing it, and it's an ice pack, and I put it on my ribs. I'm gonna heal myself for a strain.
Okay.
Please.
And I'm gonna sit back.
Yeah. Okay, so Hop, you still retain the crit. Remember those stack, and I don't think I went in and fixed all of your sheets. Whose sheet was busted? It was Rugo, right?
Yes. Now, am I able to try to heal
yes.
Hop, or is it D&D rules?
I think it fixed itself.
Homebrew
last week.
rules of like one attempt.
Yeah, I fixed it last week.
Yeah,
We're
it
good
was
now.
fixed. Okay. Sorry, PB. What?
Are we doing? May I attempt for Hop now, or are we doing one attempt per?
I think it's one per person per week.
Okay, then I'll try if that's the case.
As in one target. Per
Oh, I
target.
see. I see. Okay.
Otherwise, everyone could just
Makes sense.
have
Yep.
a pop. Okay. So yeah, there's a moment where
Someday
the
we'll
three
figure
of
out
you
crits.
are gathered around the rear bay doors of the Pathfinder ship, flying as Dax pilots it up and out of the into the atmosphere and out of the atmosphere into space, and the three of you are gathered around, kind of patching up wounds, checking what's going on with each other. Hop has a nasty kind of burn, because it would be a wound that is a partly kind like the way that lightsabers work is they just immediately cauterize everything, but it's still nasty. I think Rugo, you have like part of a hole in you somewhere as well, that you have a nasty burn somewhere on your body as well for a wound. But again, they're cauterized so long as there's no like horrific internal damage, which there isn't because you didn't take any crits or anything. You just have these kind of bad surface wounds, and the general exhaustion. The ship itself is sputtering and bits of it are falling off as it leaves the atmosphere here. But in general, while hobbling, for the most part, everyone is in good enough shape that you can converse and plan and prep. Hop, you're still out, right? How many did you heal? Yeah, you're out.
I got the one back.
Oh, you got the
stim.
stim.
I'm sorry.
Yes, that's right.
You stimmed me, right, BB?
Yeah,
Oh,
so
yeah. That's
everyone's
right,
up
that's right.
and about, though post-combat
Just tried to heal the critical.
adrenaline high and come down, plus, just being generally, those of you that took wounds are in pain. Strain train Rugo,
That's me.
the limit. But the beginning of rest begins now, so wherever you go, depending on where you do go, will depend on how long your rest will be, but you'll probably get a rest here, so you can feel free to take a moment to breathe and prep.
Right.
Speaking of which, what do you all do, and what is happening?
How do we do?
Where are we?
I would like to
Just in
scan
orbit of
the planet.
Seelos. And you're scanning it for what?
I want to see if he's still alive. He's still there. Like, where is he?
Right.
We have all these scanning, this like very high-tech scanning ship. So
Yeah, you can.
is there another ship near him? Is there a town near him?
Yeah, you can do that. You need to give me a check.
It's perception or computers according to starship actions and maneuvers.
It's a computer if you're in a starship, and perception if you're in like a land speeder or something like that.
Gotcha.
So this is a 3 difficulty computers check we'll go with.
All right. Really glad Jace isn't around. He wouldn't be good at this.
Two
You hear that,
successes,
chat?
4 threats. The TIE hunter on the planet is not functioning enough to fly, but is functioning enough to scan you. It's scanning you as you scan it, suggesting to you that he is in fact alive down there. He's accessing the computer on board the hunter, but this thing is clearly not flying. Is absolutely knackered. He's going to need to be picked up. There's no way he's going to be able to fix that thing himself. So you've got a pretty. I mean, it depends how long he's able to and how he's able to contact the Empire to be able to get someone to come to him, pick him up, or someone else. But for now, he is stuck on Seelos in the middle of nowhere. There's no other like settlements near this place. This place was in the middle of absolutely nowhere, on a nowhere planet. He is truly stranded on a desert island right now as you guys leave.
Next to an open Sith temple.
Next to a Sith temple, but you took all of the information. So when you guys took that holocron, and I failed to mention this, because I was exhausted. I was dying last week when I was running this session. Probably one of the most intense and interesting and important sessions that we've done so far, and I was really sick for it. So there was a couple of little moments and things that I really wanted to get across but didn't. I don't know how. When you took that holocron, you took the information. So there were the missing sections on the map when you first got there, when they were filled out. It told you where to go, and then that information was essentially downloaded onto that holocron, the one that Dax took, that allows him now to access Force Choke and the binding abilities that Dax is aware of, and you guys might not be. But that information, the information on the planets that it was giving you, and the route there, is now on that holocron. You're also just generally aware of it because you all saw it. So he doesn't have access to the information that's on that holocron. He needs that holocron that's in your possession, or the information that's in your minds right now, in order to go after this thing that he mentioned. He did mention Riven's weapon was what he was after.
Oh, right, I have notes that I took.
So when you took that holocron, you took the sections of the star map that he needed. So he is trapped, and he is near that Sith temple, and there might be some stuff he can get from it, but you took from that temple the things that he was after.
Right.
But to answer your question, he is alive.
Right. So he's still alive down there. We've got to go. I can think of a few planets in the Outer Rim that probably don't have Imperial presence, but
Probably.
none that I can
don't.
think of that are safe.
Right.
Well, we don't really know, right? I haven't been there in months and months.
Hops out.
No,
I'm
Hop is
up.
Hops in. Okay.
I'm in.
You all right?
Yeah, be fine. Nothing,
Was incredible.
Yeah.
You and I have very different definitions of the word incredible then. Because last I checked, I got knocked out. I lost.
What do you mean? We're alive.
Yeah. That thing is still chasing us, though. They ain't gonna give up.
Well, then neither will we.
No, we don't have a choice in the matter, giving up or not.
You always have a choice.
Don't seem like much of a choice to me. We are now running. Probably until we can't. This means we can't stay in one place for too long. This means we gotta keep to ourselves even more than before.
You dropped this, by the way. Give him the lightsaber.
Thanks. And then Hop kind of like takes it apart, takes the crystal out, and then puts it back on his the string that he has around his neck, and then clutches it, hand shaking. And then he takes the hilt and puts it back. His hidden compartment, I didn't say where it was last week. It's kind of like it's in his jacket on his back. So it goes horizontally if you want to try to envision it. So it looks kind of like a fold in his jacket. And he's not hiding. He can't hide it. He's beat up. So he just does that out of force of habit.
Did he look trained when you fought? When Hop fought, and was there a stance?
Yes.
How do you think?
There was definitely, it was very poor form, but the form was there.
There was an attempt of a form.
Yeah. You could a trained eye could see that it's rusty.
Which form was it?
I never remember the name of the forms, but it's just like the basic form. It always slips my mind.
I only know that I don't know which one. 1, 2, 3, or 4. I know Darth Vader is 4, right?
You're using form 1, Hop?
Yeah.
That's what he's asking. Yeah.
Shicho.
That 1 and not 2? I believe Brad.
Form 1 is Shicho, yes. The Way of the Sarlacc.
Sick.
Yeah, it is the oldest, I think, and most basic one that you learn in early training.
Yeah.
Where did you learn Way of the Sarlacc?
Oh,
Is that what you were attempting?
I was attempting just a basic distraction maneuver, trying not to die at the same time.
The question is, how did you learn it?
You really want to go over all this now?
Got the time?
Or do you want to go maybe somewhere a little further away first?
You mentioned a planet. Illum.
Yeah.
If we are going to be chased and we are going to continue to fight, as he sort of looks at everyone else, then maybe we should also go get our own crystals.
I think that would be wise. I don't think we need to dance around the subject anymore. I think we need to get armed.
Right, and I think you need to also tell us what you know.
Once
You've
we
been
get
obviously hiding a lot.
Yeah. I would feel a lot more comfortable if we were a couple systems away, at least.
That's fair.
Again, can't stay in one place for too long no more.
All right. You should bend your left leg a little bit more and keep your wrists up.
And hobbles away.
I think Rugo closes his eyes and tries to just get some rest. I think his eyes are closed, but he'll probably still respond if he's being spoken to.
So Ilum then? Is that where we're going?
What do you think?
Probably the best place to get a crystal.
Oh, we need to repair the ship too. We won't be able to do it there.
I can try to patch it up. We should probably go there first, though.
Okay. We have to
I can
be
do
quick
my best. Yeah.
and move on quickly. We cannot stay there long.
Yeah.
And I'll figure out how to plot a course to.
I will. Where are you right now? Are you standing here with us?
I'm in the pilot seat.
You're in the pilot seat, so we were near you. It's hard for me to visualize
I think-
the ship.
Yeah, the cabin is just one small section.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
And
The ship is tiny. Yeah, it's like being
Yeah, yeah,
It's
so,
like
like-
being
There's
in a
nowhere to
big
go.
van.
Yeah.
there's
Okay.
two levels.
Awesome. Wonderful. That makes it very easy. So, I was there helping them, but you're still within earshot and I can talk to you and stuff. Yeah. Okay. So then I see that you are looking through how to plot a course, and I don't think I have this yet, but it's on my sheet that I can help with this at some point. No, I didn't get it yet. I'm so sorry. But I will, so then I will go ahead and I will do a mechanics check to try to like repair the ship a little bit. Or did you say we had a free one, Brad?
Yeah, but you'll need to do it when the ship's on the ground. This is an external
okay.
thing.
So is there any point in me doing mechanics now? While
I
we're in
wouldn't
flight?
waste it from the inside.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
And I'll wait.
This is
for
a
when we land.
situation where Dax takes some time to plot a course to Illum. You're going like across the galaxy from literally one side to the other, basically. If the galaxy had a northeast, southwest, you're going all the way from all the way east to all the way west. And
Are we going to be able to do that with the ship in this state?
Yes.
Okay.
The ship is functioning. It's just the threat of this situation with the ship is if you run into any sort of Imperial or pirates or bounty hunters that might be coming after you or anything like that, that the ship is wounded. But it is functioning fine and is able to jump to light speed. But it takes some time. This isn't the fastest ship in the world, and you guys are in light speed for a good long time. Again, there is a calculation here, but I'm going to just say that it's multiple hours. The good thing about it being multiple hours is you heal all strain.
Hey!
And everybody heals one wound, if you have any.
That's really helpful.
And everybody is able to, it's the equivalent of a D&D long rest. You're able to take a break, you're able to eat, truly see to these wounds and bandage and patch them up. People are able to take naps, relax for a moment, catch a breath, figure some stuff out as the ship travels across the galaxy. And at light speed, so there's no real threat of danger here, because you're moving along these hyperspeed lanes around the everything. And Ilum, so Ilum is a particularly interesting planet. It
Probably
is
easy for us to plot because we've been there.
You guys will have all been here at one point in your very early training. Most younglings go here at some point with a high-ranking Jedi and go through one of their first early trials to find a kyber crystal. A kyber crystal is a thing that goes in a lightsaber that allows it to create the beam of, the laser laser sword effect. There are many different things that can be used as a kyber crystal, but these are the most potent and strong ones. And not only is this place an area that at its core is almost entirely made of kyber, but is also kind of a sort of a mecca for Jedi. They will go there and they face these trials. Now that this order has come down, Order 66, and there has been a great purge of the Jedi, it is probably difficult to imagine what's going to happen once you get here. But the odds of there being any sort of Imperial presence are very low. It doesn't make sense. Much later on in the future, we know out of character that one day this place will be swarming with Imperial, and eventually they will mine all of the kyber out and ruin everything. But yeah. So for those that don't know too much, because I haven't been explaining a lot of things, that's essentially what Illum is. It is a it's a small, it's sort of a dwarf planet with a very cold, frigid climate, ice and snow, and eventually you guys come out of this light speed, and in front of you is this very small snow-covered planet, and I think Dax or maybe Hop, I don't know if you guys have switched, but one of you brings the starship into landing in this kind of open field of snow. The doors open and you find yourselves once again on Ilum. And on your approach, there was no Imperial blockade, there are no Star Destroyers, there is not even really any signs of life on this planet. Through the opening in the cockpit, or maybe out of the doors, you're able to see ahead of you this sharp sort of mountainside with several pocked entrances to the deep and endless caverns that are underneath Illum's surface. It's a big ice snow planet, great big ice planets. Okay, and it's lucky he brought all their stuff with him when you were fleeing from Umbara, the jungle planet. He has a full.
We have the Jedi. Great things.
Yeah, whatever. If Rugo wants, Rugo dress up game. Rugo exists. That's completely fine. Rugo's in his own video game, which is a dress up video game for sure. Yeah, so there are these massive entrances high up in the mountainside, low down. There are these sheer cliff faces that are all about this kind of landing zone. This is a place again where everybody has been to, but it's not like, this is the you would have been here when you were 9 or 10 maybe. It would have been maybe a decade ago for some of you, or longer for Hop, and you would have been brought here to conduct one of these trials. But as it sits right now, kind of empty, no ice storms, no crazy horrors awaiting you or anything like that. You're able to get outside of the ship, inspect some of the damage, maybe find some materials from inside the ship, and if the first thing you want to do is spend some time between the four of you just patching up some of the hull damage, now would be potentially the time to do that before you head into the caverns to try and find some new kyber crystals for the hilts of lightsabers that you have discovered that belonged to Jedi that were presumably on Umbara when when Order 66 came down.
So, I think as soon as we land, I go outside and I begin to inspect the ship.
Yeah, I'll repair as well.
Yeah, the way this works is the same as the Starship Action, this one, which is the manual repair. No, it is the damage control. And what is the state of the ship right now?
Great question.
Do you remember what the HP on the ship is?
I think PB, were you keeping track of
it's
it?
12. It's on our sheets. We have
Well,
12
they're not shared.
It's not shared information, though, I don't think. I don't think it's
Rama
global.
and 16 threshold.
So it's over half.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yep, I do have it. Thank you. How much trauma?
12.
Oh, yep.
Over
then
half is
6.
2 difficulty mechanics check. Anybody helping the person making the check can give a blue boost die, and the amount of successes is the amount of hold trauma you recover.
Okay.
Still not gonna get used to this format of this character sheet.
How is your mechanics scored? Because I
My
upgraded that.
mechanics is 3 green.
I have 1 yellow and 1 green. What does that
What was
mean?
that?
Is that
Um,
better or not as good?
That
or
is
equal?
better.
Okay.
Brad,
Mhm.
sorry, before you make the check, would it be possible for me to use a light side point to find a toolkit on board?
Yes.
Okay. So a toolkit offers the users a wide variety of tools necessary for mechanical jobs. With the proper tools, there is a little skilled and but the technician that can accomplish. Allow mechanics and technicians to perform most technical checks to repair devices as well as heal wounds on droids. I don't know if that helps with the check or not. It doesn't say.
I think it must do. It would probably
Costs a pretty penny.
yeah, it probably reduces the difficulty, I would imagine. So we'll make it a 2 difficulty.
So 2 difficulty. I have a blue, but also PB, you have a 4 yellow.
Or maybe
How many
it would
do you have in there?
upgrade. Maybe it would be better that it upgrades. We'll say upgrades.
I have 1
9
yellow, 1
upgrades.
green for
No,
mechanics.
it wouldn't. It
One
makes sense that it
yellow.
gives a boost. I'm sorry, I went through every single possible thing. It gives you another boost.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's 2 difficulty, 1 blue. I have 3 green, and you have 1 and 1.
I have 1 yellow and 1 green, which I think is better. So I'll roll the check, but I get the 2 boosts.
Yeah.
One
Yeah, I'm there
from.
with you.
Okay, cool. And you said it was 2 difficulty?
It is a 3 difficulty. You have
Okay.
plus 1 boost from the thing, and any if anyone is out there helping
I'm
you,
also, yep.
just there's this kind of scene of everybody kind of hammering bits of metal over broken bits of hull. For the most part, that's what's happening here. So
Yeah.
anybody that is involved in that in some way can provide the person making the check another blue die.
Okay, so that's pretty good.
We got 1 success and 4 advantages.
That is only 1 success, so that is a 1 point of threshold strain. What is it called? Will learn all
you
of
use
the
the
terminologies.
advantages
Hold
to-
trauma.
Hold trauma.
Full trauma. Can you use 2 advantages to turn them into successes?
Oh
I
my.
know it's not in the breakdown example, the training wheels, but wasn't that a thing that we did at one point?
Maybe, but I think in this case, no.
Okay.
The successes would. I mean, in this case, I don't think they do anything other than reduce the amount of time it takes, because
Alright.
there's not anything that is going to. There's no real point in giving you a blue die, because it's going to be weeks probably before you do another one of these. I mean, I guess, I don't know. Maybe if we remember, we'll say if we remember and you do this check in a combat situation, let's imagine that you leave Illum and something, an Imperial destroyer appears above you. This isn't something I've got planned, I'm just giving you an example. And we get into another one of those scenarios where you're fighting from the Pathfinder here, then when you make a potential check in that combat for hold trauma, you can have a blue die. Write it down if you remember it. Cool.
All right. I'm not going to write it down
and
because
it's
stuck at typing, but I will later.
Yeah, I imagine it as kind of you have an understanding of the ship right now and its state. So it's easier for you to tell when you hear something rip off the side of it during combat what has happened, and therefore you're able to locate the area that needs attention. But I think all that this does mechanically at this point is gives you 1 success, 1 hold trauma back. So it was 12 down to 11.
Yeah. Yep.
Mhm.
So still the ship remains in not a great shape, but is functioning. It's just not going to take much of a beating to knock it out of the sky should you run into danger. So you'll probably want to, after Illum, find an outer rim spaceport somewhere, and then it becomes a situation where you need to pay for per hull trauma point, essentially. But we'll get to that when we get to it. You guys spend an hour or two here working on the ship, finding, just exploring the ship, maybe for one of the first real times here, pulling out opening drawers, finding areas in the bay area, and pulling sheets of metal out, realizing what these are potentially used for, pulling apart random things that you find on the ship, and using the metallic elements to scrap and fix some of the hull trauma, just a little, just to give it a fighting chance. The droid is still just an inner bunch of droid parts, and then an outer thing which is just scorched and bent and
welded
into the thruster.
I think we may need professional care for that removal.
Yes,
and
that will all come as part of the the true fixing
repair.
And then I assume that everybody packs up some things, gets ready, and prepares to head into the caverns under Illum. Assuming that's what you want to do. I'm just putting it out there.
What I would
be like, we've got to do this as quickly as possible. We've got to do this and move on.
I think you close up the ship, you lock the ship, and head into the caverns. From your memories, it was just simply a matter of wandering through these caverns until you found the glittering cave, which is an area where all the kyber crystals are, or at least had some element of a trial or some force-based guidance, and I think the four of you head into these caverns. It is a sort of long and winding set of tunnels here. There is a rumble in the distance that echoes down these icy caverns, and it bounces from wall to ceiling, and it is the rumble of geysers. Underneath this planet and in varying places, there are these hot bursts of water and heat that come up and create more caverns and stuff like that, but it sounds like it's very far away. And you're simply walking and moving through these twisting and endless cavern ways. One of you's probably got that glow stick out. I don't know if Hop is using something, a lightsaber. Maybe he's actually ignited his lightsaber to give you some idea of light in here. But there is pockets and moments where natural light bursts through. Blue icy walls, slippery underfoot in places, coarse in other places, and soon you come to a cavern with sort of glittering color. There are these kyber crystals within the walls of the cave here. They sparkle with sort of energy, and each of you feel a sort of swelling in the force. I think it's something that you're just naturally attuned to at this point. For the first time, maybe since maybe the first time since before the Order 66 situation came down. So we're looking at 6-7 months ago. You actually get that comfortable sensation of the light side of the Force. You've just come from the exact opposite, this Sith dark side energy that suppression, that pressure of what is essentially evil, is replaced here with the light side. A familiar sensation for a moment, but not the same as the trials that you would have gone through as a youngling. Each of you feels this, even Hop. The twinkling crystals of this cave take on a sort of hypnotic glow as you guys are looking around this room, and you walk into this open cavern for the first time, and you feel drowsy and then sleepy for a moment, comfortable, safe for once.
Again.
And your eyes close, but for a moment. And when they open, ahead of you within the walls is one single crystal glowing, and you would feel drawn to it.
Dibs. Kidding.
Well, each of you sees a different one.
Okay.
But for you, there is just one. And as you approach, each of you hears the voice of your master, as if echoing down the caverns like the geysers before. New Order.
I am not crying right now. I totally am. Don't start with me. I don't know why this is happening.
Unfortunately, based on some dice I rolled before, we're starting with you.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
You
That was very good.
hear the voice of Master Tharik. As you're walking forward again, the crystal in the side of the wall of this cavern calling to you in one way, and a voice speaking to you as if stood beside you, comforting, says, "Breathe and listen. The world is quiet here. Tell me, Nuada, what does peace mean to you?"
Fluidity. The ability to adapt. Move, breathe, change. It's only when I'm able to move and adjust and adapt that I can truly be peaceful.
You have done very well, my Padawan. I am very proud of you.
Fuck you, Brad.
Rugo, as you head in a different direction, but kind of tunnel visioned, you hear the voice of Master Eranthos speaking to you again, disembodied but nearby. You hear an old lesson. No matter the skills of the thief, one can never rob someone of their knowledge. Tell me, my Padawan, what knowledge have you learned these past few months that you can no longer live without?
Master? All right. The knowledge I have gained is precious. The knowledge I have gained is exploration of the reaches of what it means to be safe. And how I could protect those that need it. The knowledge I have gained through this exploration has led me through many trials and skills that I would have never thought. With the loss of Jace, I was able to I was able to repair the ship when it needed. Months ago, Master, I would not have been able to do the quick thinking without this exploration. And I know that when there is darkness in whichever cave it may be of exploration or discovery, in that pit of unease, there's always the force that will guide me back to the light. As you taught me.
Remember, my Padawan, to protect your heart as well as the others in need. You have become a fine Jedi.
Master?
In front of you there is a crystal that begins to pulse and glow, drawing your attention to it once more. Thanks.
Bundle up a little bit and I slowly reach.
As you're stepping forward towards the crystal on the wall, what is the number on your morality conflict scale?
For 41.
Oh, shit.
You hear the voice of Master Lu Tuol. She speaks, and it chills you like a cold wind that is blowing through the caverns, as she says, "The greatest warrior is never angry. Do you believe you can achieve serenity in these trying times?"
Don't feel like serenity is something we went over often, Master Lu.
Perhaps not. Though I have come to learn something new about myself in the past few months. Darkness is the way of the Sith. Though it is our ally, we can only use it to guide others to the way of light. But you must not step out of the light yourself.
You only ever taught me how to hide and protect myself. How am I supposed to protect them too? Don't listen. I need your guidance now.
There was much that I had yet to teach you. Everything that you have learned from me, everything that you have taught yourself, it must be used to help others. You must temper your anger.
What if I can't?
You must believe you can reach this serenity.
Yes, Master.
In front of you, the crystal that is in the wall splits into two. As you enter into this cave, you feel the pressure of the crystal that is already in your possession. Several others twinkle for a moment, and as you close your eyes, the room dims for you. Lonus stands behind you, a huge Zabrak, arms crossed as he would often do, deep in thought. There's a blue hue to his aura, and as you turn to him, he says,
"Feeling greedy for another crystal, Orson?"
You know me so well, Master. But no, these are not from me.
I sense
Although
that you
they
blame
weaken.
yourself.
Yes. Yeah, it's all my fault.
I sense that you blame Lutwal.
If only she trained me like you trained me. Finished what you started. We wouldn't be here.
You must not blame her. You must blame me. You were my
No.
responsibility.
It's not your fault. I shouldn't have ran.
She was forced to contain a ray of sunlight within her hands when it was my duty to mold a sunset into a bright burning star.
It's not your fault that they didn't listen to you. They should have. You were right. We were right.
Perhaps. But I chased something I should have chosen patience. Instead, I failed you.
No. I failed you. But not again. I'll make it up to you. I'll make it up to everyone. I promise.
Perhaps. You must not fail these young ones. They are your responsibility now.
Yes.
There is almost no one left. It falls
Almost?
to you. There are
What do you mean, almost?
several, but not many.
Oh. Where?
You must guide them, my friend.
How? I never even made it to a night. I'll do my best. I'll try.
Orson,
Yes, Master.
may the Force be with you.
Yes, Master.
From behind you, you hear the voice of Master Lu Tual echoing down the caverns. Breathe and listen. You can hear it. The heartbeat of the universe.
Yeah.
You must aim
Oh,
for
it's beautiful.
harmony of thought and word and deed. Orson, our time together was short. But you must seek a quiet mind, harmony of oneself.
how do you propose I go about that?
Use the Force, my brief Padawan.
Maybe if I listened to you when I was younger, maybe I'd have a better idea.
She smiles. The shadows of the cavern give way, and you see the three younger Jedi heading towards different sections of the cavern. The rest of you, the kyber crystals twinkle and glow in the walls, hundreds of them. One among many stands out significantly to you. In the case of Dax, one is split into two. One side of it glowing one color and the other half glowing another. But what color is the kyber crystal that each of you pulls from the ice cavern wall here?
As I reach forward, Rugo plucks a little bit of effort at first, but it finally does. Maybe after I close my eyes, I breathe. Pops loose. I pull it over, and it's teal. A spawn of green and blue. As I hold it close and breathe for a moment.
As I take mine out, I see colours swirling, and I can't quite tell what colour it is, but as it cracks and breaks into two, it becomes clear that one crystal is white and the other is blue.
Walk up. I think my eyes fell on this one immediately, and I walked right to it, and I've seen no others, and I pull out a green. What the fuck just fucking happened? Was that me?
Yes, a droid.
Oh, the fuck?
Droid appears
Okay.
in the cavern next to you. It doesn't really.
Jesus Christ, that scared the shit out of me.
Hop, you have the hilts of the lightsabers that were taken from the chest on Umbara. These things are not perfect. They seem to be damaged, old, or worn. But each of you, as you take your crystals, Hop, I assume, hands one of the hilts to each of you, and you can place the crystal into the lightsaber. For now, this serves as mechanically a basic lightsaber. Rugo can probably quite quickly do a mechanical hoo-ha to mess with his, because I know what he's going to want to do with the Force Pike and his lightsaber that he has right now. Dax, You do essentially have 2 functioning separate kyber crystals that could go into 2 lightsabers, but you'll have to pick which one goes into this one, and you'll have to find the bits and pieces that make another hilt, which is doable. The most difficult thing, I think, is called a lens that you need. That's very specific. The rest you can probably hack together in general when you go to another planet. And Nuada, I think you go for a basic looking
my
thing.
lightsaber, by the way.
Oh,
I picked
was?
it up
That's
and
weird.
put it over here, and it's a power off sound, so I'm so sorry. Yeah.
If you want, you can describe what the hilts look like. If you want to try and do that, it's up to you if you guys want to have a go at that. But I don't know if you know that. That seems quite hard to describe, but Hop hands each of these hilts to you.
The hilt that was handed to me is brushed gold or brass. There is I think the hilt belonged to maybe some warfaring race, or whoever built this had a primitive mindset. There is a large hook that comes out of it that looks a lot like a Gamorrean blade, though maybe likely not Gamorrean Jedi. Hold on. The hilt was once hooked up toward where the blade would fasten. It's heavy, but I could fix it. I can make it balanced. I won't use this hook, this guard, as maybe it was built for, but it could be a good counterweight for the glaive. I will probably spend time making my force pike into Rugo's light glaive. The training that I received when I was in Coruscant was less with a traditional saber, but more with a pike. It was meant for defense of the temple. I swore my life when I started training to be a part of this Jedi Order, to protect the archives and to protect that which is important. And my temple guard training will continue as I also continue. The blade, after some work, does end up turning into a large pike and a large glaive that would then have its ignition rerouted and wired towards the center of the entire pike itself. Now when I turn the force pike on, it knows to ignite the crystal. The lens was a little bit hard to adjust and focus currently, and I've had to try to modify the lens so the saber wasn't as extended. The blade itself was a bit too long, so I had to find out a way to shorten it. And I do remember that there were times I was speaking with Jace, where Jace would help me with some of my devices and my saber. And there was one moment where he would visit me after training and refocus the lens on my saber. So I was able to shorten mine, just extend it off of the pike. It's heavy, but it'll get the job done. Hopefully it won't need to do any sort of job that it needs done, but it's there. And it could defend myself and my friends from this Cxy-Ran.
You want to go next? Go ahead.
Right. The hilt that I was given is not very fancy, but it's durable, sturdy, and works well. It's just steel with some sort of blue steel mixed with it. So it's like this. I think it belonged to Padawan. I don't know it, but I feel it. It was a Padawan that was probably his or her master somewhere and died with them, like I did not. The feeling of it in my hand is good and feels strong and powerful, which makes me feel safe.
Mine is actually quite similar to Dax's, at least in style, not the color, but it's brushed like a copperish gold, so not rose gold like if those of you watching can see, but like almost as if, and it shouldn't be this way, but it seems this way, as if it's just tarnished, but it's not tarnished, it's just that the metal has changed over time, perhaps. I don't know if there's metal like that that exists in Star Wars, but there is now. And it's got engravings on the hilt that I don't understand, and I don't think that I don't know who this belonged to per se, but I know that I feel someone treasured this for a while and it went unused for a long time. So I think it's maybe someone's master from a long time ago, and they were hanging on to it.
Okay. Crystal goes in. They appear to be functioning enough. It doesn't seem like this thing's gonna break. There's only one way to check, really. Does anybody attempt to ignite their lightsaber?
Yes? What? Yes? Of course
Okay,
we do.
yeah.
We can, right?
Yeah.
Afraid to turn mine on, so because it's going to yell at me. So I'm not going to do that until I figure out how to mute it. But yes, I turned mine on. Oh my god!
Well, no one blew up. That's a good sign.
Excellent.
They're all functioning. Everybody has lightsabers. When it comes to combat next time, you will have lightsabers and stuff. Anybody that wants, Cord, you're going to have to make a check back at the ship to during some downtime, but basically the next, flight over to wherever you're going next, to try and forge yours into a pike. Dax, you're going for 2 weapons, to dual wielding, not dual bladed, but dual wielding. This is its own thing in the game. I think essentially the second attack has a higher difficulty, is how it works. So the meta, I don't know if you've looked this out, but the meta is to take a Shoto blade for the next one, which are the little short ones.
Sure.
Because it gives you an accurate 1 addition, so it negates that difficulty somewhat. And that's kind of what you want to do. So you'll probably want to make a Shoto blade for the next one, or purchase or find or build or whatever you want to do. Nuada, yours is just a lightsaber, so you don't need to do anything.
Just a lightsaber.
Just a lightsaber.
Wonderful.
I would also
Classic.
go with the classic as well.
I'm trying not to cry again. This is so cool.
You have lightsabers. The cavern filled with kyber crystals, but none of them calling to you, none of them doing anything. Each of you ignites these lightsabers, and you have them. I think it takes a little while for you guys to make your way back outside, and head back out onto the icy, snow-covered surface of Illum, and back towards the ship, Starstalker, the Pathfinder. You guys head on to the ship here, and
Hell yeah.
What's the plan now?
And now
We go
I
get the
guess
ship repaired. We be responsible.
Yeah.
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 we should definitely go get this thing repaired. I think as we're probably making through the snow as we approach, I'm probably going to bring that up.
Is it possible that I could maybe grab Hop while you two get on the ship?
Sure.
I'm gonna grab him, and it's not violent, but it's not gentle. And I sort of grab him by the sleeve and pull him back, and I say, I want to know who you are, Hop. And I want to know right now.
You want to know who I am, then you want to keep it a secret from your friends. You're really trustworthy, you know that?
I don't need to keep a secret from them. I just want you to tell me.
Then why'd you pull me aside?
Because you're not comfortable talking about it in front of everyone, and I know your name isn't Hop. I know it. I'm not stupid.
What makes you say that, kid?
Come on. Hop?
It's a great name. Hop Sunrider. It's a great name. What's wrong with that?
Oh, it's a great name you come up with after reading a story.
What's wrong with stories? Stories bring people comfort. Make people settle in their own skin a little bit easier.
Ah. You know what brings me comfort?
What's that?
Not being chased. And not having someone I don't know in my group. So why don't you tell me who you are?
You know what brings me comfort, kid? The fact that when you lit up that lightsaber, it wasn't red. It brings me comfort. For a moment there, I had maybe a little doubt. All right, you want to know more about me? And then he looks over at Nuada and at Rugo, and it's like, all right, come on. Story time with your Uncle Hop. Let's go. Gather round, get a seat.
Maybe en route?
He wants it right now.
I need to know who he is.
I thought you said we couldn't stay long.
It'll take 5 minutes. I just need your name.
All
I
right.
want to know who you are.
My name now is Hop Sunrider, but that's not the name I always went by. When I was a Padawan, my name was Orson Rop. It's a name I've not used in a very long time. And I was brought up and trained through the Jedi Order, probably very similarly to the three of you. Wasn't top of my class, top of my peers, none of that. Maybe a little closer to the bottom, if I'm being honest with myself. I was a very stubborn kid. And I knew what I wanted. And I wouldn't really listen to much anything else. Will that do? Can we get on the ship? Or any other questions you want to know?
Where were you when all this started? What happened?
I was already Hop Sunrider when all of this happened. My master suspected that maybe, and he turns away for a moment, collects himself. He felt something in the Force that was dangerous and history altering almost. And he tried to tell the council, and they wouldn't listen. And so he tried again, and they wouldn't listen. And then he tried and tried until they finally, they humored him. Insultingly. And they said, take me and investigate one lead. And so we did. And that lead left me masterless. See, he was struck down in front of me, and I ran as fast as I could. When I reported back, they didn't really believe me. They didn't seem to believe me. To keep me quiet, they assigned me a new master. A master who had just recently lost her first Padawan. She wasn't Master Reed, and I wasn't her apprentice, her Padawan. At least I don't think so. In the moment, we fought, we bickered, we heard what we wanted to hear. And in hindsight now, I think I was just mourning. So I failed my trial, and I blamed her for it. wasn't her fault. Lou did the best she could.
My
But I ran.
eyes widen when you say that name.
I ran. And I survived. This was a very long time ago. And when all of this was happening, I was in the middle of a job. Where's the end? Funny how you can remember such small details from decades ago. And in less than a year, I can't remember something as simple as beginning, middle, and end of a job. But she, of all the people, all of the Jedi that could have bumped into me during a job, it was Master Lutois who caught me red-handed. And as I turned, I heard my name. My true name. Well, my first name, I guess. And then I heard a blaster go off. And then I heard nothing from her. And as blaster bolts flew by, me narrowly avoiding them, I turned and saw my former master lying on the ground, and those who were supposed to be her allies attacking. So I ran again, something I swore I would never do in this circumstance, and I did it again.
I grab him by the collar. Where? Where was this?
It doesn't matter.
Dax,
This was months ago, kid.
Dax, calm down.
Her body's collected. You don't think I went back and looked? A saber? Anything? Any rag, piece of clothing? There's nothing. They took it.
Tell me where she was.
Dax.
Why? You gonna go there?
I deserve to know. More than you. I should have been there, not you.
Why? What are you to her? What is she to you?
She's the only thing I ever had.
And Hop kind of takes a step back. And he's starting to put two and two together at this point. Oh. Kid Dax. I'm so sorry.
Don't need
Shouldn't
your
be finding out
apologies.
this way.
I want to know where she was.
We were on Alderaan. If you have to know.
Dax walks away under the ship.
I'm gonna follow him.
Please.
Rugo nods during this awkward pause, and then, thank you.
For what? I didn't do anything. I might have just splintered this even more.
We got the truth, so thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome, I guess. This is not something I've thought of in a very long time.
It's all right. So, you weren't a knight?
No, I failed. I failed my trial. And I blamed Master Lieutenant for it, Lieutenant for it. I was young. I was angry. I was grieving. And they gave me the option to stay and clean up, organize the archives. That was not something that I was interested in doing at that time. So I ran. I ran and left everything behind except for my crystal and my grief. And I invented Hop Sunrider. Although that took a couple of years.
What do you want to be called?
I still want to be called Hop.
Very well.
Orson died a very long time ago. The Outer Rims saw to that.
Right. Now that I know that you're not a knight and never were, that means we're probably equals, and I will feel less guilty when I give you notes about your sheet show.
Yeah, well, I probably won't take it very well, kid.
It's all right, I'm not good at teaching.
That makes the two of us.
Thanks for your honesty. Thanks for bringing us here.
No. Thank you.
What have I done?
You have given me another opportunity. And you, Rugo, you are the only one who, this sounds weird, I'm sure, familiar in a way.
Wish I could say the same.
You know, you probably would have liked my master. I feel like you two would have gotten along well. And Hop, kind of, he's disabling his saber again, dismantling it, takes out his crystal, puts it back on, and kind of clutches it. And thank you for being trusting.
It took a while. Wasn't as easy as you may think.
Yeah.
Being it from the Outer Rim or whatever Hop's been doing, you probably understand.
I understand. I get it. And you returned my saber to me, too.
Of course, it's not mine.
Yeah. I was
Crystal didn't
afraid.
call to me.
Yeah. It's got a certain unique weight to it, doesn't it?
It's very light.
Yeah. It doesn't help much with the ignition, but...
Right.
All right. We should probably... You think we should catch up to them, or should we get back to the ship?
I'm freezing. Yes, we should make a...
All right, let's go.
Hey. Just sit down next to you in the co-pilot seat. I don't look at you. I'm looking ahead. Are you okay?
No. I'll have to be, right?
You don't have to be right now. It's a couple
Sort
minutes
of
before they
feels
come in.
like we always have to be okay. We've got two choices. Be okay and try to survive. Or not be okay and get killed.
I think life is a lot more fluid than that, Dax. You don't always have to be one or the other. You can be somewhere in between. Right now, in this moment, you don't have to be okay. You can just be, and you can grieve, and that's okay. And when the moment comes where we need to be okay and do something, I know you can do that, because you've been doing it for the last 6 months. Probably even longer.
I knew she was dead. I knew it. But hearing about her just makes me so angry. How
Why
could they
anger?
do that to her? How many clones did you know by name? How many were you out there with? Because I lost track. And there are some Jedi who didn't treat them very well, I know. But she was always kind. Didn't deserve that. How could they do it?
Pain, probably.
Pain?
Most people act out of a place of fear or pain. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying she deserved it. But I want to make sure I try not to dehumanize the enemy or villainize anyone. Too much, anyway.
Alderaan. She died on Alderaan.
What was she like when you met her? You remember?
Cold. She was cold. She seemed cold. But she wasn't really.
Sounds familiar.
just Master Ilum. What are we gonna do now?
You and I are going to sit here and think about Master Lu for a minute. And then when we hear the door open, we're going to put our brave face on and we're going to figure out what to do next. But for now, and I will turn and I look at you for the first time. And I think you know that I was purposefully not looking at you to give you space in case you were emotional and vulnerable and didn't want to be that way in front of me since I just barged in here. But I would like to try something insane, Brad. May I do this now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm going to try to... What's the difficulty? Or do I just roll? I'm so sorry. I know you didn't want to fucking speak. Okay. Okay.
Three light sides. What are you searching for?
I'll take Dax's hand. I might be able to... We can go back to Alderaan. You won't be able to do anything. At all. But you'll be able to see it. If you actually think it would be helpful to you.
What are you saying?
I'm saying you could be there.
Take me there.
Are you sure?
Yes.
You won't be able to...
I want to see.
I close my eyes and there's a small gust of wind. My hair billows up a little bit and then everything falls still. My breathing slows almost to a stop. Looks like maybe I have just frozen in time. And then you are there. I'll let Hop and you describe what happens. Since it's your masters.
So you're in the flashback?
Back. Yes.
All right.
He's watching.
So you would see Hop, hands up, staring straight, and you hear, it would be all black right now for the moment, and you would hear Lutal's voice and saying something along the lines of, how far did you think you were going to get?
How far did you think you were going to get? Keep your hands where we can see them.
And Hop does, and he turns around with a smirk, a very dashing, clever smirk.
Grips.
And he hides his voice a little bit deeper than he normally does.
Approaching the prisoners.
And you hear the clone troopers behind her, and the scene kind of unfolds as we're in front of a very wealthy individual's home. And Hop is wearing clothing that is very similar to that of private security. And you would get the sense that He's obviously not private security. This is all a ruse. Hop slightly turns around a little bit and catches a glimpse of Lutoil, and then immediately turns forward, and his smirk, his confidence, everything that makes Hop kind of flushes inside of himself. And he keeps that same voice. And he says, "You think you'd be the first Jedi that I've ever come across?" And very kindly, but very sternly, Lutoil says, "No, but I'm most likely going to be the last."
No, but I'm most likely going to be the last.
And as she approaches Hop, Orson, she turns him a little bit. And she begins to say, she's taken aback by who she sees, because it's been quite a few years, but she recognizes her former Padawan. And she begins to say, "Orson." And right before she can finish the name, a shot goes off. And then maybe a handful more. And he runs. He looks back and dodges blasting fire. And he's gone as the the clone troopers swarm around Master Lutoil. And just so I know too, Dax, are you fixating on Lutoil? Okay. And that's all you see.
Can I ask what her final moments are like? I'm assuming Dax. Do you see? Do I see?
She is on the ground, confused, alone. The troopers kick her body, make sure she's dead. Run away after her up. And she's just left there. Just another body on the ground in a long war. Take me out.
I do. I'm sorry, Dax. I'm sorry for all of it. We were just discussing where to go.
All right. Where you want to go?
Somewhere that can repair the ship, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's what we were just saying. Dax had a couple options in the Outer Rim. And I'm pulling it up on the screen so Dax doesn't have to speak. Here's what we've got. What do you think?
What I would have suggested is a few different places. Obadiah, which is a moon in the Outer Rim. It's the home of the Pike. I would say That's a very dangerous place, but if we want to be out of the Empire's clutches, that's a good place to start. There will be places to repair the ship, but we will need money. And a lot of it. There's a Mon Cala. I don't know what sort of shape it's in. I've been there a couple times.
Mon Cala's the one with they found Bacta there, right?
The Mon Calamari and the Quarren live there. There's
a good place
Ryloth, but that place has been at war for years now. But if anyone's resisting the Empire, I'd assume they would.
What about this one? And he points to Telos 4. Outer Rim.
Yeah,
We'd be in our element.
We stopped there once. There's not much I remember, but I don't know. There wasn't any sort of presence from the Republic when I was last there, so it's possible the Empire isn't there yet.
Telos 4, isn't that a Sith planet? Sith sites and temples? Am I mistaken?
Safe. That's all I care about right now.
I think I remember reading. Yeah, I remember her telling me that, but it
That was a long
was
time
obviously
ago.
a long time ago.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
You don't believe everything you hear, do you? I mean,
Believe
any
everything she
old
told me.
farming, agricultural planet can say, yeah, we're a Sith planet, and they get the right person to say the right thing, and all of a sudden, it's the truth as far as anyone's concerned.
I just don't want anything to lead our friend to find us.
There's
I don't
also
want to really
Kashyyyk.
play on their home turf, I think. If we
There's
have
also
to.
Kashyyyk. Sorry.
No,
It's just-
we do not want to go to Kashyyyk.
Why's that?
Why
I
not?
know.
When was the last time you heard from a Wookiee?
About 7
fair
months
point.
ago.
You hear anything good about Kashyyyk? Because I sure haven't.
No, they were fighting the Separatists.
Bad idea. Swarming.
What do you mean?
Brockelmer is a wonderful Jedi. But long past.
Yeah, well,
But yeah.
everything
Recently,
went
no.
down, and we wouldn't be safe in Kashyyyk.
Oh,
We would for sure be spotted on Kashyyyk.
my vote is for anywhere that's controlled by criminal organizations. Because we know in the Outer Rim, they're probably not going to have too much Imperial presence there. Because there's already power there. It'll be developed, there'll be a place for us to repair the ship. Maybe some jobs we could take to make money to pay for it. So we've got the huts, we've got the pikes, and we've got the Black Sun.
Obadiah is my vote.
Anyone else?
I don't think I have a preference.
I think it's
Mon
either
Cala
that-
may be nice if we wanted to tend to our wounds. I know that I could use some work. But if it comes to the ship first, then maybe we wait. And I'm not sure. trying to think best of... It all depends also. Cxy-Ran and his contacts and what he has up his sleeve to tracking and finding us. Has anyone heard of anyone being able to track anyone through hyperspace?
No.
Right, so we should be fine then. To me it doesn't matter. I just do want to be in some sort of condition to help if we were ever to ignite again. Right now I'm
Right.
pretty beat.
Well, okay. Well, we've got to decide then. We can go to
I'm up for
Obadiah,
whatever.
or we can go to Alderaan or Nar Shaddaa for repairs. Or we can go to Mon Cala and try to get Rugo sorted, but we don't really know the situation on any of these planets. Unless
Any of them are
Bob
going to be a
does.
liability. You're right.
Well, let's just pick one, Nashada.
Sure.
It's a hot space. Yeah.
Everywhere is
Alright.
hot.
Do I owe the huts? I don't think I owe the huts any
Oh,
credits. I
huts.
think I'm...
Oh.
I mean, they're definitely huts. I'll say that. But I don't think I owe them any credits. I think it would be all right, maybe.
Okay, I'll see if I can
But
figure
you
out
don't
how
know
to
if you
get
owe
this
them
to-
any credits. We should probably figure that out before we start punching it. Elaine?
I'm relatively certain I don't owe them
Right,
any
and what
credits.
happens if you do owe them?
Well, then we talk. Pretty good at talking.
All right.
Well, it sounds like we're gonna run into that problem anywhere we go with Hob.
Right.
So, I guess I'll start working
That's
on...
not true. I don't owe the... Or do I? No, the Twi'leks. I definitely do not owe any credits to the Twi'leks.
Are you
Very
saying
certain.
You want to go to Ryloth?
No, I'm just saying I don't owe them any money. I'm an upstanding guy. And
So far, the safest bet seems Ryloth.
Oh, what about repairs for the droid?
The droid doesn't need much. It just needs a new chassis for it. Or
Okay.
to repair the one we have, but right now it's currently fused into our thruster bell.
Well, do any of the planets probably, I don't know, probably anything that can repair the ship can repair a droid, right?
I would think. But my knowledge of these planets are not as current as maybe Dax or, well, any of you.
Well, I know... Ryloth won their freedom before the end of the war. And I'm fairly certain they would not bend to Imperial rule.
Then let's go to Ryloth. We're a little uncertain about the huts in Nar Shaddaa, right?
Yeah, I like
Well,
Telos.
And
forward
everything
still.
is telling us that we should maybe go to Ryloth. So maybe let's just go there.
I'm all right with that.
But at the end, I don't mind where we go. I'm going to go rest a bit. Inside. As he sort of falls into the resident compartment in the back and lays down.
Oh, you've got to go somewhere. That isn't
How do
here.
what am I doing here? I know a little bit. Is it this button? I'll help you.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Just don't
That-
press the
that'll-
yellow button.
Just hop. Not now.
No, that's for the rations.
I kind of like
Yeah,
shoot him
I'll-
a glance like,
No,
you
all
two
right,
are having
fine,
friction.
all
Get the fuck out of here.
right. No, I'm just
It-
trying to. All right, launch our
just-
rations.
just-
See if Hop
yep.
cares.
So not this button, because this button is for the rations.
Right, then
Sorry for leaving.
jettisons our cargo.
I'm just
Okay.
resting.
Don't hit that ever, Nuada. Okay.
Wherever we
So
go,
what-
I'm all right with.
Okay,
Alright, strap in. We're taking off. And we're going to Ryloth.
Sounds good, thank you. Take it up easy, all right?